weekly meeting for the SkillBridge Real Estate program. Hope everyone had a good time celebrating over the past couple of weeks, and I hope you also have found some time to do some goal setting, planning, all that stuff for 2024. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Zor Morales, and I'm, as of yesterday, New Year's Eve, that made 2 years of being out of the military and in the real estate business here in Hawaii. My wife and I jumped into real estate straight out of the military, and the Lord provided, blessed our business, and we're still here on the island, still living with the high cost of living, everything that people complain about out here, still making it happen. Thank you, Nicholas. So today we'll be talking about what to budget for as a new agent, and just a quick reminder: if you're in a safe situation, I'd appreciate if you put your camera on, and feel free to unmute your mic if you have a question or you want to add something to what I'm talking about, because I don't know everything. I've been in the business, I've been in real estate 2.5 years because I did 6 months of SkillBridge, but I do not know everything, and I didn't retire from the Marine Corps, so there's lots of things that I do not know. And so if there's anything that you do know, this is a great forum for you to chime in, and either unmute yourself or you can drop it in the chat as well. And same goes for questions. You can drop them in the chat if you don't want to unmute yourself. All right, so we'll be kicking it off. Let me share my screen here. And I'm also going to share the link for this presentation so you can reflect on it. Nothing groundbreaking, but if you want to click back through it and think about what I talked about, you can do that. So I'm going to provide the link. Now that I went to share screen, my chat box disappeared. Okay, there it is. I'm also going to drop a link for the topic request. So if you think of it, the reason we're covering this topic today is someone asked to have a class on this, what to budget for. And so if you have anything you want to hear more about, definitely click on that link and drop it in there. We'll get a class plan for that. So yeah. So what to budget for as a new agent. Pump up the curve. We're going to talk about that curve in a few minutes, but first we're going to talk about things that you need to budget for as a new agent. One quick disclaimer: depending on where you are, depending on what state you're in or what county you get licensed in, your costs of licensing will vary. Same goes for everything that we're going to talk about, cost of marketing, all that stuff. It's going to vary. So just keep that in mind as I talk about this stuff. I'm mostly basing this off of Hawaii, which is at the high end. So it kind of gives you a warm and fuzzy that you're going to be probably around these costs or less. So the guaranteed expenses you're going to have up front, starting off with your pre-licensing course. So for anyone in the audience who hasn't started anything at all, aside from just enrolling in this program, the general flow, pre-licensing, and then you do your licensing exam, you submit your application, you join EXP, you pay your MLS dues, and you become a realtor by joining National Association of Realtors. So that's the general flow that people follow. Some states have fingerprints, other stuff like that. But this is the general flow right here. So your pre-licensing is going to cost you about $500. And then once you complete your pre-licensing, they give you a little cert saying your pre-licensing complete. Then you sign up for your exam. Your exam will cost you about $70. That's assuming you pass it on the first time. If you have to take it twice, that's really no big deal. And I'd recommend taking it sooner rather than later, because in the long run, it will save you money, even though you're paying more upfront. And then your licensing application. So after you pass the exam, they'll give you a little cert saying this person has passed the exam. Now they can apply for their license. That's going to cost you about $400 to submit that application to your local Chamber of Commerce. And then the initial join fee for EXP is $149. I rounded it up to $150, and that's just covering your entry into EXP. And then there's still monthly fees after that, which we'll cover next. but MLS dues, so the multiple listing service, so where you can see all the houses that are on the market, and also if you have a listing, put it on the market. There's dues for that, and then there's also dues to become an official realtor, to put that title on your business card and on all your marketing materials. So those initial fees will be about $2,000. And so altogether, after you pay all those, and these are all upfront expenses, altogether it's gonna be about $3,200. So that can be a pretty big kick in the pants when you're going from the military, where everything is paid for, your food, you're given a little stipend for uniforms, you're given base pay to cover your general expenses, you're given BH to cover your housing, and now you're like, oh, I'm stepping into this new career where I'm already $3,200 in the hole that I have to pay to work. And it can be kind of a shock for a lot of people because you're so used to everything being paid for you, all your training equipment, travel, all that stuff. But if you do it right and you start as soon as possible, you'll realize that it's significantly better than the compensation is significantly better than what you experience, and limitless than what you experience in the military. Whereas you work as hard as you want, you get all the quals, you're the shining star of your unit, and you're making the same pay as the guy that gets in trouble and all that stuff. Some additional expenses to talk about. So the one in white, that's another kind of a guaranteed expense. The other three are kind of optional, that you could do away with altogether, or you could go in the opposite direction and pour a lot of money into those, if that's what you're wanting to do, which I don't recommend. So your monthly EXP membership fees, you're going to be looking at $85 a month, which comes out to about $1,020 per year. And then marketing materials, which will be business cards, flyers to send out to your neighbors, all that kind of stuff. Your first open house signs, all those things. You can do it for about $300 if you spend it wisely. And then again, you can also go in the opposite direction and blow $5,000 on marketing materials, but $300 is a good number to budget for that. Your lead generation. So if you sign up for any kind of cold calling software like Vulcan 7 or Redx, anything like that, you're looking at about $1,200 for the year. And then last item is business attire. If all you have is your military uniforms and some shorts and t-shirts, you might want to invest in a nice collared shirt, a decent pair of pants, maybe go to Costco, save some money and get more bang for your buck. And yeah, and because you want to look professional when you're talking to your clients, and show them that you take the profession seriously, take them seriously. You're not just showing up with a Metallica t-shirt to a meeting with them and expecting them to trust you with this huge investment that they're making. So between those initial guaranteed upfront expenses of $3,200 and then these additional expenses, you're looking at over $6,000 in the hole, for if there's any E3s or any in the audience, that's about double the 2 months worth of pay in the hole. And in general, that's just a significant chunk of change to say goodbye to starting off. And it's really not, it's not saying goodbye. Like some people have the mindset that it's in the hole, that you're $6,000 down the drain, or you can have the mindset of this is investment and we're about to go through the roof with our income. So how do you get over that kick in the gut feeling of starting your new career with $6,000 in debt? And the solution is to pump up the curve. So the curve I'm talking about is this one right here. And so in general, the two options that people have to follow as you step from the military into real estate are these two options right here. And unfortunately, right now, the majority of folks, but it's kind of fulfilling the odds, the whole Pareto principle and all the statistics you hear about the real estate profession, most people follow option one. They say, okay, SkillBridge program prevents me from receiving any kind of compensation, so I'm going to put my uniforms away, start playing some video games, do some chilling, do some online classes about real estate, learn all that online stuff, and talk to people about what they know about real estate, be efficient with time, but really not doing anything for the entire time you're in SkillBridge. And then time comes to say goodbye to the military, and then you jump into being an active agent. At that point, you pay the $6,000, and you also are saying goodbye to your comfy military paycheck. Even if you're stepping into retirement and you have your retirement pay, maybe disability pay, that can be a big kick in the gut when you pay that $6,000 to get things started. So you go that route, and then so I have this 6 to 8 months up here because that's about how long it takes folks to start producing in real estate on average. And so if you're on the above average end of 6 months, then it's so you can count your retirement date or separation date plus 6 months, and that's probably going to be when you have your first paycheck from real estate. So imagine you pay your guaranteed costs, and then you pay your additional costs. Stress starts to build because maybe you have a mortgage, you probably have some kids, have all these expenses, your car payment, and the fear starts to set in, and you might start pondering saying goodbye to the entrepreneurial real estate investment, enjoying freedom lifestyle, and saying hello to some kind of profession that provides an hourly wage and something that's more stable but has a cap to it, and you're kind of right back into another chain of command. Someone just dropped in. If anyone hasn't purchased the California pre-license course, C Shop has a coupon is only $100 to purchase. So California folks definitely look into that. They probably have similar discounts like that for other states. Then option two is if you're pumped about getting into this new career, you're taking it seriously, you're excited to experience limitless income potential. And so you start the program, go from showing up to your military job to working from home or wherever you decide to work from with EXP. You get licensed. You don't care about the whole not being able to get compensated while you're active duty. And so you're already out there hustling. That's what I did. So as soon as the first week of being in the SkillBridge program, and I was able to get 6 months. I know a lot of people are getting cranked down, so you might be 2 months, 4 months, whatever it is for whatever your command approves. But that first week I was already licensed and I was already opening doors, doing showings for people, shadowing, all that stuff. And so if you do that, then that 6 to 8 months to start producing, that clock already starts when you're still active. And so, yes, you might miss out on the opportunity to be compensated on a deal during that window. But when I said goodbye to the Marine Corps on New Year's Eve of 2021, January of 2022, my wife and I had 3 transactions close. And so that was a healthy paycheck for that first month of being a civilian. And then it only goes up from there. And in this last year, we actually did better than we did the previous year. So our first year, we were right around 180K GCI, gross commission income. And then the following year, we were right around 200K. And this past year, we did 250. So, and I attribute that obviously to God, but if you put the time in ahead up front to get after it, to have the mindset of, I'm going to make this happen. I'm going to embrace this freedom, embrace the opportunity to have limitless income, that it'll pay off dividends because you're setting that trend of high performance up front, and it's going to sustain. Whereas if you set this trend of, oh, it's time to chill, I'm going to play video games, I'm going to travel. Travel is good. I've done some traveling, but if all you're doing is just, I'm just relaxing and just not working, and then you expect to jump into this profession that can be pretty time consuming and require a lot of hard work at times. Um, might not turn out how you're expecting it to. So that's about all I've got for the items to budget for, and these two options that you are able to consider and choose which route you want to follow. Anyone have any questions on any of that stuff?
So I'm just kind of curious. Say we do get a sale, what happens to that money? Does EXP just keep it?
It would be a 100% referral fee to the Wilts.
Ah, cool. Well, good for them.
Yeah. Did you join a team?
Have I? No.
Yeah. Are you thinking about it?
No. Honestly, I just want to be a referral agent. I like my
Okay.
whole investment thing and freedom. I don't want to be running around opening doors,
Yeah.
but referral fees, they're pretty kick ass.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
no, I'm not. Yeah,
Also,
I sorry, I like the whole real estate thing, but like honestly, I like my freedom more than anything.
yeah.
So yeah.
It definitely works for you because you're driven. You're in the whole real estate investing
Hmm.
concept, which is great. And it's kind of a no-brainer to have your license so you don't miss out on that cut of all your investments. And then also the people that talk to you and like, oh, look at Nick, he's crushing it. I want to do what he's doing. You refer them to an agent, get that referral
Yep.
fee. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely worth.
Referral fees are pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah.
It's like zero work and you get thousands of dollars.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty hard to say no.
Yeah. My first closed referral transaction was a complete nightmare. But
Oh,
it was no for me, but for my buddy that referred the guy to me, it was like what you said, no work at all. So my buddy,
yeah.
here's this guy that's moving your way, and I was like, oh sweet, and I was still active while I was reaching out to him, so I was like, all right, I'm gonna like it was like a wild like 10,000 pound marlin that I was trying to reel in. Um, had to reach out to him like several times, like to call him just to get him to answer the phone. Finally, get him to answer. We would arrange a time to like meet to like actually talk about buying a house and stuff. He'd blow me off. I didn't let that get me. I was like, no, I'm going to catch this guy. I'm going to get him. Finally got him. We were shopping for homes at a distance because he was still in the mainland and like on the East Coast. So it was like a 6 hour difference. I'd be talking to him like at midnight sometimes. Um, but long story short, it was a nightmare of an interaction for me, but my buddy got a referral fee of like $3,000 for just, hey, here's this guy's phone number and email.
Yeah.
Good.
You yeah, you literally just find out someone at your command is buying a house, like connect them with a realtor, boom, thousands of
Yeah,
dollars. I mean, it
yeah,
comes like a few months later, but like, I mean, that's so easy.
yeah.
But anyway,
And not
um,
not not even just that they're buying a house. If you already know they're buying a house, then that's good. That's great. If you
yeah,
know that they're guessing and you like, hey, can I have your phone number and email? And then you pass it to somebody that's you know where they're going. Um, like that's even easier. Like you don't even have to
yeah,
know actually wanting to buy a house because you can put that work onto the next person to convince them, and then they
yeah.
just watch.
I've never done it like that. That's pretty cool. But yeah, good on you for chasing that one lead down though, because I know a lot of realtors they would not like realtors. A lot of times it seems like they're so jaded from having so many people waste their time that as
Yeah,
soon as somebody starts to seem hesitant to buy a house, they're just like, okay, no, you're not wasting any more of my time. See ya.
yeah,
Or, oh, you're not pre-approved? Nope, bye.
yeah,
I mean, I can't say I blame them, but at the
yeah.
same time, it's kind of like, dude, that was like thousands of dollars. You just walked, like you just let it walk. So I
Mhm.
mean, yeah, it
Yeah.
is what it is.
And that's where when the CRM comes into play, and then also doing a little bit of homework for that referral. So the CRM piece. if you're the realtor you're referring them to
Hmm.
has CRM, they'll have like autopilot just to bug the crap out of that person until they finally respond or get pre-approved, whatever. And then the interview piece, like when you're if it's somebody you actually care about, it's like your best bud from your unit that's PCSing, and you want to make sure they're taken care of properly. You go on a Facebook group or workplace, and you put it out there. Hey, I have a friend that's PCSing over here, who's interested, like who's able. And then like see who, like, for one, who reaches out to you, because some people will like just comment, yeah, I can help you out. Like that's it. Like they put 2 seconds to say me,
Hmm.
post the comment. Other people, so that's like the low end. The high end is they comment, they call you, they text you, they email you, they friend request on Facebook, they send you a message on Facebook, like they call you on Facebook, like they're just doing everything they can to get a hold of
Yeah.
you. And that's a good indicator that they're hungry to,
Hungry. Yeah.
and they're going to put the time into taking care of your friend. So
Hmm. Yeah,
yeah,
definitely. Yeah, those are still out there for sure, but they don't. I feel like the longer they're in real estate and the more money they make or don't make, either the more jaded they get or the more money they get, so the less motivated they are. But
yeah,
yeah, I don't know. There's some that are still super hungry and
yeah,
still willing to do everything.
yeah.
But
Hungry or
then,
in it for the right reasons.
mhm. Yeah,
Or you gonna
and
say,
honestly, giving someone a good referral, you're doing them a huge favor because there's so many crap real estate agents out there. I mean, not talking, bad about anyone on here,
yeah,
but there are bad real estate agents out there. Like, trust me. And if you're referring them to a legit good agent, you're doing them a huge solid. I was just
yeah,
talking to a girl the other night, and she bought a house that is now $20,000 under value that she needs to sell, and she can't because she has, yeah. And then she was talking about her real estate agent and that he just did a terrible job and she way overpaid for the house.
yeah,
I mean, like,
yeah,
you know, if she had gotten a good real estate agent that maybe would have said, "Oh, that's a bit much you're paying for that house," could have saved her a hell of a lot of trouble.
yeah. And when you hear that, what you just said, you might think like, oh, not that big of a deal, but that's like a life-changing thing.
It's
Like
huge. Yeah.
my first
It's,
home purchase, and they're like, oh, this whole real estate investing thing is not what Nick made it seem like. Like I'm 20 and I don't ever want to buy another house and be a renter the rest of my life. And like that's the path they follow because of that. And so yeah, if you do put that time into connecting with a solid realtor who, because I mean, if you think about it, like for the most part, everybody has a little bit of greed inside them. And so when a realtor is taking that client shopping around and they're like, "Oh, look at this house. It's listed at 500, but you can get it. It's going to be competitive, so you should probably offer 550 or 600." And so that agent, in some cases, if that is true and it's really competitive, it's their dream house, all that stuff, they're giving them good advice. But a lot of times there's agents that are just greedy and they're just like,
mhm.
I just want to get my offer accepted. I don't want to have to compete. And I
Yeah.
just want to, the more that my client pays, the more that I'm going to get paid off my
Yeah.
commission. So let's just
Facts.
do it. And then the inspection comes, lots of things that need to be repaired. And if you pair them up with a good realtor, they're going to fight for them to get them a credit or to get a price
Hmm.
reduction. And otherwise, the realtor's like, oh yeah, foundation crack, not a big deal. You can put rubber cement on there, you'll be good. Don't ask for
Yeah.
any. And then time comes to try to sell it, and they get completely screwed by the people that are trying to buy it once they find out all those issues.
Yeah, no
Yeah,
facts. That's another thing is the inspection. Like I know when I first saw for my first house, the inspection report came back and I was like, holy shoot, there was a fire. Like there was because the old house, there was a fire in it and there was evidence of it. And I had that house for 2 years. There was no evident fire damage. I literally never saw fire damage in the house. But
mhm,
you see that like first thing, and you're like, oh my God, there was a fire. Like,
yeah,
and there's so many other things that, I think there were like 100 things wrong with the house, at least in the inspection report. And like everyone, when they're first seeing their first inspection report, like kind of tends to have that reaction. And then you as a realtor have to be like, hey, it's actually not a really big deal. Or as the cracked foundation and, example you were sharing, like that could be a huge deal and a total deal breaker to say not buy this house.
Yeah.
And a good realtor will be honest about it. A bad realtor is just going to make the deal go through
Yep.
because they want that money.
Yeah. They want to get back on the road, opening more
Yeah.
doors.
Yeah. Getting more clients.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. How's your first realtor experience?
It was actually with an EXP agent, and I'm still good friends with him. I went to his, so get this dude is killing it. In the 2 years that I've known him, we met at a bachelor party actually. But in the 2 years I've known him, he went from like repping, just totally doing groundwork, just really putting in the grind and doing like 3, 4 houses a month of like, $500,000 to $600,000 range. I think the first one I bought was 500, it was like 550. And then he represented me on it. It was pretty like he did a good job. He didn't own any doors at the time. Like he had no units of his own, which
Yeah.
in hindsight, I wouldn't have done. I would have seen that as a red flag and been like, yeah, not doing that. But he got me the house, even though there were competitive offers. So he did a great job at that. He negotiated it down. He got me, I want to say, he got me a lot of credits towards the end. He got me like $10,000 worth of credits that we used to cover the closing costs. Yeah, exactly. So he saved me a lot of money. He did a great job, and I didn't know how like big a deal that was back then. But now, like looking back, I'm saying like he did a great job.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's hustled since then, and now he has his own team, which
Nice.
is awesome. Yeah, so he's still representing houses and stuff, but they're all in like the $2-3 million ranges. Like he
Dang.
doesn't go, yeah. So his Christmas party, which I thought was brilliant, he hosted his Christmas party in a house that he was representing. And it was
Nice.
like, yeah, it was like $2.4 million. And like you show up to the Christmas party, he's got like a DJ, open bar. I don't think he had a bartender, but it was a really nice house on Mission Bay. And of course, he's like got flyers for the house
Yeah.
all throughout. And you can actually like tour the entire house while at the party. I thought that
Wow.
was like brilliant. So he's
Yeah.
always doing stuff like that. For Christmas every year, he sends all his former clients gifts. Like I got a towel from him.
Yeah.
Why was it not this year, but 2 years ago? I still use that towel all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's a very clever marketer who's really put in the work.
Yeah.
So yeah, his name's Monroe Harrington. If you ever want to look him up, if you're
Yeah.
in California. But yeah,
Dude.
super good dude. The kind of a I want to say epitome of like an EXP agent that put in the grind. He
Mm.
really did. And
Yeah.
now get this, he has 6 units of his own and has his own property management company also, in
Yeah.
addition to having his own real estate team.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
anyway,
No,
so that's a success story of EXP for
yeah.
sure.
Yeah, because that shows you like what's possible if you put the work in, if you're
He,
actually taking advantage of all the opportunities, all the education, all the resources that are available to you,
mm-hmm,
grow to that
he,
lifestyle. I'm sure his first year in the business was tough, and he was working long hours.
mm-hmm,
But now
yeah.
he could, if he wanted to, he could probably, for the most part, just step away and just anytime his team has issues, just answer the call, give them some advice, and that's it. And
With 6 doors in San Diego, he doesn't need to work anymore.
yeah,
Like I don't know what his doors are cash flowing for, but I know if they're at the average, he's set. But I
yeah,
mean, he still wants to grow. He's still making tons of money. I think the commission for a $2.4 million house is what is it, like $80,000 after taxes? So I
yeah,
mean, somewhere in that ballpark. I'm not good at public math. And I
yeah,
don't know. Well, I mean, I guess he has his own team. His arrangement's probably like 80-20. So I mean, yeah, his commission's probably pretty high. Then he has all the residual income from his team and any agents that he got to join. And he was their sponsor. So
yeah.
he's doing really well.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. If he wanted, like he doesn't need to do this anymore, man. He could just walk away after like 3 years of being a
Yeah.
realtor.
Yeah.
So
Right there.
yeah, he's
Then you
doing it
can
right.
travel and play video games and do all that stuff while you.
I can't see him doing that. I don't know that he plays video games. I don't see that. But
Yeah.
maybe I only know one side of him. So I don't know. We met at a bachelor party, so I know that side too. I can't see him playing video games.
Yeah.
But
But for the people out there that they just want to, work hard for 3 to 5 years and then step away and enjoy life,
yeah, it's
travel,
very possible.
paragliding, jump or scroll suit stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
But thank you, everyone. We're at that 30-minute mark. Try to keep these at 30 minutes so you don't fall asleep watching Zoom. Um, Go ahead and turn off the recording. You're more than welcome to stick around if you have any questions. Otherwise, have a wonderful first week of January. Get after it.